Right now, the latest from Ukraine as war continues another month. Also, we have a new World Series champion reaction after last night's big win.
Dry conditions return today after the area experienced quite a bit of rainfall. Show how long these dry conditions will last and when our next chance of rain will come.
Hey, good morning and thanks for joining us this Sunday morning. I'm Shane Hogan. Before we get to our top stories this morning, Greg, we had a lot of rain this weekend, but things are starting to dry up. What's today looking like? Yeah, today's actually going to be obviously the best day of the weekend, but overall not too bad, considering we're still going to be in the 50s for almost now the first full week of November. But most of the area received good amount of rainfall all the way out to once you get towards Rochester, then obviously it drops off pretty quickly. So 1 to 3 inches, even some 4-inch mounts down there. So well-needed rainfall. The winds have subsided. We still got some winds down towards Janesville and those areas. We'll see more of a wind issue as you go further north and west of La Crosse, but for today, much less than we saw. That's why they got a wind advisory. We have a front coming through there. So well west of that, they'll have some winds. We'll still have some 15 to 20. Some red flags, and that means you have strong winds, low relative humidity, and drought conditions out there. Could be fire danger out to the west, too. They did not receive any of the rainfall that we had this past system. So right now, 45 degrees at the airport. We're going to get up to about 56 by 1 p.m., about 10 degrees above average. The winds will be breezy today, but not quite what we saw yesterday, obviously. La Crosse, 47. There'll be a little bit more stronger winds out of the west, up to 15, up to 55. And once again, still very good for this time of November. Right now, you see that system pushing through. This is the front. Most of the moisture is to the north, so we're just going to get cloud cover, wind, and all the rain pushes to the north. But it will cool us a little bit down tomorrow. Clear skies to the west. The flow you can see. Dry conditions should persist. I'll break down how long these dry conditions will last, and we may see the return of the 60s here later this week. All right, Greg, thank you very much. To the latest in the war in Ukraine now, Iran acknowledged for the first time providing military drones to Russia. Tehran had previously denied it. The drones have become a key part of Russia's arsenal. Ukrainian forces have already shot down hundreds of them. We get more on the war from CBS's Holly Williams, who's in Ukraine.
Vladimir Putin suggested yesterday that he was forced to invade Ukraine. Confrontation with the Nazi regime was inevitable, said Putin, referring to the government of President Volodymyr Zelensky, who's Jewish and whose grandfather fought against Nazi Germany. On Russian state television, they now claim Russia's fighting not just Ukraine, but the West and its corrupting liberal values. This commentator says the TV series Friends is a good example of it. On the battlefield, Russia suffered a string of embarrassing failures as Ukraine's recaptured swaths of its territory, and Moscow's been forced to mobilize 300,000 reservists. Yesterday, President Putin even authorized the conscription of convicted criminals. Perhaps in desperation, Russia recently began targeting critical infrastructure, including the power grid, with airstrikes. With a harsh winter looming, Ukraine says 40% of its energy infrastructure has been damaged. This week, G7 nations, including the US, said they'll help with reconstruction. The next major battle could be for the southern city of Kherson, which is crucial strategically. Civilians in the occupied city have evacuated, but these Ukrainian soldiers say while the Russian troops sometimes appear to be leaving, in reality they're reinforcing their positions.
I guess it's some trick.
Holly Williams, CBS News.
This week, the British government says it has intelligence that Russia's military may have deployed so-called barrier troops who threaten to shoot their own soldiers if they retreat. To health news this morning, the CDC has updated its guidelines for prescribing opioids for pain. Among the recommendations, medical providers should avoid abrupt discontinuation of opioids, and they should collaborate with patients when making treatment decisions. The agency says some state laws and insurance decisions that were supposedly based off the 2016 guidelines were actually inconsistent with those recommendations and have contributed to patient harm. Pregnant immigrants in the U.S. are less likely to receive timely prenatal care than people born here in the U.S. Researchers at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine say they can contribute to long-standing health disadvantages. The CDC says 1 in 4 births in the U.S. is to a person who is an immigrant or a non-U.S. citizen. And eliminating daylight saving time would help people get more sleep and relieve stress. That's the position of the Sleep Research Society. The group says daylight saving time causes more light exposure in the evening, delaying the production of melatonin in the body. This can lead to sleep loss, which is associated with obesity, stress, heart disease, and depression. Hope you remembered to change your clocks last night. Sad news now. Aaron Carter, a singer who found fame with pop songs like I Want Candy, has died at the age of 34. The one-time teen idol started his recording career at the tender age of 9 years old. A spokesperson for the LA County Sheriff's Department responded to a call at his Lancaster home around 11 a.m. local time. Carter was found dead in his bathtub. Authorities have provided no information about a possible cause of death. Aaron, who was the younger brother of Backstreet Boys' Nick Carter, first rose to fame in 1997. In addition to his career in music, Carter was also an actor, appearing in TV shows like Lizzie McGuire, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and others. Authorities have provided no information about a cause of death. And we'll have to wait until Monday to see if someone wins the latest record high Powerball jackpot. That number is now $1.9 billion. Greg said he already had his card yesterday, got one number right, but again, that's not going to do it. Yesterday's drawing for the record prize did not have a winner. The next drawing takes place Monday night. We will keep you posted on those numbers, as always, here on News 3. And congrats to the Houston Astros. They are the 2022 World Series champions. They defeated the Philadelphia Phillies last night to cap off truly a thrilling fall classic. The Astros' 4-1 victory last night helped manager Dusty Baker become the oldest manager in MLB history to lead a team to a World Series title.
I thought about it a lot, you know what I mean? I try not to dwell on it, but try to have faith and perseverance and knowing that, you know, with the right team and the right personnel and right everything that, you know, this was going to happen.
Dusty Baker's been around a very long time, almost 3 decades managing in Major League Baseball. Great to see him finally get to one. Obviously, the Astros surrounded with controversy for their title back in 2017. A lot of the same players still involved with this team here, but it really was quite an entertaining World Series. Baseball looking for, you know, a lot of viewership right now when the sport is struggling with that. So congratulations to the Houston Astros and the Philadelphia Phillies for an awesome World Series. Well, still ahead this morning, the latest fallout from Elon Musk's Twitter takeover. And you're taking a live look over downtown La Crosse. Greg's got the full forecast, what to expect for Election Day when we get back.
Looking for great sleep at a great price? Denver Mattress has you covered. And during the Veterans Day sale, check out the Summit Firm for only $279.99, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Say goodbye to sleepless nights and shop Denver Mattress today.
Are you waking up in the morning with a sore jaw, headaches, maybe even ringing in your ears, all because you're grinding and clenching your teeth at night? That's exactly what was going on with me. That's when I found this, the Brooks Night Guard. Now, the Brooks Night Guard redirects the bite force away from the back teeth, reducing jaw pain while still protecting the teeth. This unique design is what makes Brooks Night Guard different from all other traditional grind guards. Go to brooksnightguard.com and order yours today.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes.
Certainly.
You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
A 12-year-old girl can't legally drive a car. At 12, she can't even vote. But if this little girl were tragically raped or a victim of incest and became pregnant, Radical Tim Michaels would force her to deliver the baby. He said it's, quote, not unreasonable for the state government to mandate rape victims to give birth. Would it be unreasonable if he were forcing this on you? Let him know on Election Day.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare with a zero or low plan premium. Call now. We can answer your questions and help you enroll over the phone. WellCare provides access to essential benefits that go beyond original Medicare, such as dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage with free home delivery, free over-the-counter healthcare items, free groceries with a healthy food card, free gym membership, and home-delivered meals. Plus, extra benefits like more access to care with free transportation and WellCare's telehealth services, including online doctor visits. WellCare is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be perfect for you. Call 1-844-682-9370. Now, that's 1-844-682-9370. WellCare, Medicare done well.
Looking for great sleep at a great price? Denver Mattress has you covered. And during the Veterans Day sale, check out the Summit Firm for only $279.99, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Say goodbye to sleepless nights and shop Denver Mattress today.
Yeah, after we had a busy day yesterday, today should be fairly calm, but still some action going on. You can see this is all the overall pattern for the last 3 days. You can see this system that affected us yesterday pulled up to the north. You can see the low spin right there. That's pushed east. Here's the one that we're impacting us right now today. It's not going to be that big of a deal because it's not working with a lot of moisture. It's going to be fairly dry, but it is going to increase the wind, a little bit of cool down, but you can see the flow behind it really is westerly, which helps going to keep our temperatures up probably for the time being here. Overall, you see as we go through the week, this system's going to dig to the south, which in turn is going to turn the winds aloft to the southwest. That should pull the warm air back up to the area by Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have this system come through Thursday. The bad news in all this is the cold air definitely takes a plunge. It goes through our area by the end of the week into weekend as the pattern totally changes out of the northwest. So enjoy this last probably 3 or 4 days of good, warm, mild conditions. Overall today, cloud cover will kind of dissipate this afternoon. Westerly winds will be the main story. Overall, the next few days shouldn't see much in the way of any clouds or precipitation. Northwest winds tomorrow, then it'll turn more towards the south as we get towards Tuesday into Wednesday. Tuesday, we might see more clouds and maybe a shower west, but that's an isolated shot at best right now. Today, mid-50s, upper 50s, 10 degrees above average, so a little bit breezy west winds, especially as you get north and west of La Crosse today, but overall still much better than yesterday. Tonight will cool off, once again get down into the low 30s, upper 20s further north, which is right kind of where we should be for this time of year. And then tomorrow, a little bit cooler because you see the winds are out of the north, so a few degrees colder, but once again still above average or at least close to average tomorrow with more upper 40s to near 50. And then we get even warmer Tuesday. You see, here's the winds more northwest of La Crosse. That's where they're going to have the strongest winds because of that front coming through. We'll see breezy conditions down in southern Wisconsin, but once again, much less than we saw yesterday and much less what they're going to see up there. That should actually improve tomorrow as we go through. So 10 days you see right now, 65. Election day actually looks good. Maybe a few thunderstorms election day night. Otherwise, we warm up to the mid-60s. I can't say a 70, might not be out of the question further south. And then we have the front coming through probably Thursday night, Friday, and then we kind of fall off the cliff, so to speak, because our temperatures go back to the mid-30s, even low 30s. So that's almost 10 degrees below average. So we're going to take a flip there. But in the meantime, through this week, it should actually fairly be nice.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing to remember here, Election Day should be pretty good for folks who are going out and getting out, probably standing in some lines in some places too. So hopefully the weather stays up.
Yeah, can't beat mid-50s when you're talking, November.
That's right. All right, thanks, Greg. Well, Twitter employees facing mass layoffs after the $44 billion takeover by Elon Musk. Meanwhile, the company is seeing a pause from major advertisers, reports of a surge in racist comments and hate speech on the social media platform. Musk is responding with a tweet blaming activist groups and saying they're trying to destroy free speech in America. Mike Valerio has the latest.
Twitter in turmoil just a week after Elon Musk completed his $44 billion purchase of the social media giant. Potentially thousands of employees at Twitter today opening their devices to learn that they no longer have a job. Mass layoffs are expected across the company.
If you're going to police content less, if you're going to moderate content less, you don't need as many staff to do that. It's also a function of what he needs to do, however, because he massively overpaid for this company.
In response, several employees have filed a class action lawsuit alleging that Twitter is in violation of the WARN Act, which requires an employer with 100 or more employees to provide 60 days advance written notice prior to a mass layoff.
There are certain exceptions that would exempt a company from making those types of specific notices.
This, while a number of major corporations such as General Mills, General Motors, and Audi have paused their ads after Musk's takeover and reports of a surge in racist comments and hate speech on the platform.
Advertisers are already really freaked out about what this platform will look like in the world of less content moderation. They don't want their logos alongside anti-Semitic tweets or, neo-Nazi content.
Musk responding to the moves with a tweet saying he has seen a massive drop in revenue, which he blamed on activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though he says nothing has changed with content moderation. To generate revenue, Musk may charge $8 a month for Twitter's subscription service called Twitter Blue, the coveted checkmark to verify an account, among other features. I'm Mike Valerio reporting.
And former Twitter co-founder and CEO Jack Dorsey has released a statement apologizing for growing the company too quickly. His tweet is following those mass layoffs from Musk, which resulted in thousands of job losses. Dorsey tweeted, quote, "I own the responsibility for why everyone is in this situation. I grew the company size too quickly. I apologize for that," end quote. Dorsey's observation tracks with industry observers who believe Twitter may have been overstaffed. Although Dorsey stepped down from Twitter's board this year, he is staying involved after Musk's takeover. He contributed just under $1 billion to Musk's $44 billion Twitter purchase, making him one of its largest individual investors, a story we will definitely be following throughout the next week. Coming up next this morning, a further discussion on seasonal affective disorder.
News 3 Now, election night coverage, Tuesday, November 8th.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman, and said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and in light of the recent events, your continued support means everything to myself and my employees. To thank you, we're having the biggest sale ever on all MyPillow bedding. Get MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $29.98. A set of pillowcases for only $9.98. In this economy, instead of buying a new bed, rejuvenate your bed with a MyPillow mattress topper for as low as $99.99. We also have blankets in a variety of sizes, colors, and styles, like plush, waffle, or gossamer, for as low as $29.98. We even have pet blankets from small size to the ones for your car. Get huge discounts on duvets, quilts, down comforters, and so much more. So go to MyPillow.com or call that number on your screen. Use your promo code and you'll get huge discounts on all MyPillow bedding, including MyPillow bed sheets for as low as $29.98. Get all your shopping in while quantities last. Please order now.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife, Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
Wells Fargo lets you know where you stand with your FICO credit score. What if you knew where you stood with everything? Like your future in-laws.
Hope you like cats.
I hope your parents like me. They're whispering.
The kid is like
Oh, can they tell I'm allergic? Tears of joy.
Welcome to the family.
Like knowing where you stand? When it comes to your credit score, you can with Wells Fargo.
Why do dermatologists worldwide recommend La Roche-Posay? Effective skincare like La Roche-Posay Double Repair Face Moisturizer delivers double action to help repair skin's barrier and provide 48-hour hydration for healthy-looking skin. La Roche-Posay.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Overall, a little bit of quieter day here to end the weekend. Like I said, temperatures should be the mid-50s for La Crosse. Winds will pick up. We have a little bit of a dry front coming through, but no rain is expected. Skies will become clear probably this afternoon. Overall for Madison, lighter winds today, much lighter than yesterday. Temperature still mid-50s, still above average for this time of year, especially since the first week of November. So really, the bottom line is breezy conditions today. The winds pick up Wednesday and Thursday, but those are from the south, so that means temperatures will warm. Showers Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Looks like Thursday, Friday, that's going to be when the front comes through. And temperatures, although we'll start off 50s, 60s, maybe a 70 Wednesday or Thursday, we'll see. But then we drop off by the weekend in the 30s. So 10-day, that's what kind of looked like. The election day forecast looks good. And that also looks good too. But then notice the temperatures at the end. That's the thing that we're going to concern about, is that it will be definitely colder as we get towards the end of next week.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Yesterday, we brought you a story here on Weekend Mornings on seasonal affective disorder. Well, in this morning's health conversation, I sat down with Dr. Rupa Shah to go a little deeper on the topic and how we can prepare ourselves for the winter months. As we start seeing sunsets before 6 p.m. and sunrises creep closer to 8 a.m., not to mention the time adjustment as our clocks fall back for daylight saving time, you might be feeling more sluggish or anxious or even more depressed as we see less sunlit hours. Those feelings could be attributed to seasonal affective disorder. SSM Health family medicine physician and wellness coach Dr. Rupa Shah joins me this morning on how to fend off the effects of seasonal affective disorder. So Dr. Shah, first off, what are some signs someone is starting to feel the effects of this disorder?
Yeah, so seasonal affective disorder can be similar to a mild depression, where you can start feeling just a little bit down, irritable, moody, just not having that motivation to do the things you normally do. Pretty common when we start losing that sunlight this time of year, especially early in the mornings, and it really just alters kind of that circadian rhythm too, which can lead to feelings of SAD or seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, so it's commonly known as SAD. How is that treated?
So for the most part, it can be treated just like we would treat depression, especially if the symptoms get worse. So seeing like a therapist or considering medications. For people that have just mild symptoms, getting a seasonal light box, you've seen those phototherapy boxes, can be really useful, especially first thing in the morning for about a good 20 to 30 minutes. The thing to remember is that you do need to get a light box that at least has about 10,000 lux emitted from it. So that kind of mimics that natural sunlight and tells our brain that it's time to be awake and get ready for the day. Essentially like resetting our circadian rhythms.
Especially for the folks that are up before the sun rises, you know, those early risers. Yes. Really important to kind of start your day that way. Now, when do you think folks should see a doctor about SAD?
So as I mentioned, SAD generally has mild symptoms of, that can mimic depression, feeling a little bit down, a little bit less motivated. If you find your symptoms are getting worse, they're getting more severe, it's affecting, time with your family, work, then of course reach out to your physician, because there may be other treatments that you may qualify for and need actually.
A lot of good information there. Thank you, Dr. Shah. Now, where else can people find you?
So they can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks.
As always, our thanks to Dr. Shah for her insights. Coming up this morning, candidates across Wisconsin making their final plea to voters before Tuesday.
As falling leaves give way to snow, Midwestern winters bring rough weather and high energy bills. Feldco's here to help with our biggest sale of the season. 50% off windows, no money down, and no interest until 2024. Winter's right around the corner, and the clock is ticking.
50% off windows ends soon. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
Aren't you tired of the division and the anger? I know I sure am. Our country faces enormous challenges. I promise I'll do everything I can to help make things better, and I'll always tell you the truth. What continues to give me hope are the kind and decent people I meet all over Wisconsin. People who love America and are willing to work hard to unify and heal it. Please join us. I'm Ron Johnson. I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes. I'd like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member oh yes. Certainly. You know we got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4Imprint, for certain.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
The upcoming holidays are hectic enough without having to worry about appliances breaking down. Family-owned Brothers Maine is having a Veterans Day sale featuring kitchen and laundry deals on GE appliances. The lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Monday, we're ramping up to Election Day with everything you need to know before heading to the polls.
And Josh is in the 608 with the delicious way one church is helping get out the vote.
And will these mild conditions continue, or will we return to more typical November temperatures? Tune in Monday from 4:30 to 7.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team gets results.
We're taking action for you.
Nearly 700 cases closed, more than $500,000 recovered, and we're not finished yet. When you need help, call for action only on News 3 Now.
Right now, a final push before Tuesday, how candidates in Wisconsin and across the country are urging people to get out and vote. And with 2 weeks until the start of Wisconsin's gun deer hunting season, learn how the Dane County Sheriff's Office is helping hunters prepare.
And the winds have subsided from yesterday, but are still going to remain breezy today. Still mild conditions. I'll break down how long these mild conditions will last and what the colder conditions look like for next weekend.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us on Weekend Mornings. It's a nice Sunday morning. I'm Shane Hogan. Greg Barnhart's here with your First Warn weather. Hey, Greg.
Hey, it looks actually not bad to end the weekend, especially compared to what we had yesterday for most of the area. So we're still going to have some wind today. Right now, pretty much towards the south end has the winds right now at 10 to 15. Then they'll have more wind issues as we go further to west of La Crosse, because we do have a little bit of a dry cold front coming through. But other than the wind, that's going to be the issue. We're a little bit colder here just because of the temps dropping off. Warmer because they've kind of picked up winds and cloud cover to the west of La Crosse due to that front coming through. That's the reason right now. You see, we do have a wind advisory to the west of La Crosse. That's due to the winds approaching with the southwest. Also because of the dry conditions out there, low relative humidity, and they did not receive any rainfall from this past system. They got a red flag warning, which means you got to be careful if you do with fire activity out in that area. Overall, you see the precipitation is very limited with this system, really to the north, so it's just going to be clouds for us and then wind, and that's really been about it for most of the areas. So right now we're starting off at 45 degrees, south wind 17. That will decrease this afternoon a little bit. We'll get up to the mid-50s, 10 degrees, almost above average still for November. So overall, not bad. 47 degrees right now in La Crosse. They'll get up to about 55. They'll increase their winds because they are closer to the front up there. But overall, still 55 degrees you can speak of. There's a cloud cover and the winds come ahead of it. A little bit of showers, but we're not expecting much. If you look at the bigger picture, once we get past this, dry conditions really for the time being. We're not going to see any type of activity until we get midweek. I'll break down when it occurs and how warm we might actually get prior to the cold front coming through later this week.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Well, we start this morning with breaking news out of Rock County, where 3 people are dead following a crash on State Highway 11. The crash happened at the intersection of West State Highway 11 and North County Highway H in Center Township last night. According to the Rock County Sheriff's Office investigation, a white Nissan Maxima was southbound on County Highway H and failed to stop at a stop sign and collided with a gray Ford Escape that was driving westbound. The drivers of both vehicles and one passenger were pronounced dead at the scene. 3 other passengers were transported to a local hospital for their injuries. The identities of those killed in the crash have not yet been released. To campaign 2022 now, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers met with supporters here in Madison as he continues on his campaign trail ahead of the midterm election on Tuesday. The stop was part of his bus tour called Doing the Right Thing. The push spans 10 days, during which the governor is touting his accomplishments while in office. The governor got personal with supporters last night and sharing how the reversal of Roe v. Wade has impacted his family and women throughout the state.
I have 7 granddaughters. Some of them, they're here tonight, second-class citizens, overnight, just like all the women in the room. We can't let this happen.
Evers' opponent, Republican Tim Michels, appearing with Ron Johnson yesterday to highlight his differences between him and his challenger. Michels spoke briefly about education reform in Wisconsin, saying that if he's elected, he will, quote, put parents in charge of their children's education and make universal school a reality.
They know that crime is up. They know the education test scores are down. They know your 401k value is down. They have nothing to run out and win on. The red wave is coming.
Wisconsin State Senator Brad Pfaff visited La Crosse Saturday as part of his statewide tour to prep voters for the election. Pfaff, who is running for Wisconsin's 3rd congressional district, met with voters who he says are ready to reject his opponent, Republican Derek Van Orden. Pfaff is also focusing his campaign on women's reproductive rights, and he says he wants to make sure everybody gets a say in the election.
Recognize the fact that democracy is at stake, and we recognize how important it is that we get out and vote to make sure that we choose our leaders, not just a few, but everybody.
Pfaff will also make stops in Eau Claire and Stevens Point for his tour. In this final weekend before Election Day, the race is on to reach voters, especially in key battlegrounds. Last night in Pennsylvania, President Biden and former President Barack Obama held a rally while former President Donald Trump campaigned in another part of the state. CBS's Bradley Blackburn has more.
If there's proof, a lot is on the line this election day. 3 presidents campaigning in one state make the case. In Philadelphia Saturday, President Biden and former President Obama stumped for Democratic Senate candidate John Fetterman.
I know Pennsylvania well, and John Fetterman is Pennsylvania. He is Pennsylvania.
And they pushed supporters to turn out Tuesday, as polls show Democrats are facing tough headwinds.
I can tell you from experience that midterms matter a lot.
In Latrobe, Pennsylvania, former President Trump appeared at a rally for Republican Senate candidate Dr. Mehmet Oz and hinted at his own potential re-election bid.
We have to win, and we're going to win a lot. We're going to win in 22, which is a few days. We're going to win in 24. We're taking back that beautiful house.
The Pennsylvania race could decide which party controls the Senate, but there are tight races in several battlegrounds like Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona, where yesterday First Lady Jill Biden campaigned with Democratic Senator Mark Kelly, who's in a dead heat with Republican challenger Blake Masters.
In only 2 years, Joe, Mark, and the Democrats up and down the ballot have gotten so much done.
Republicans need 2 victories in battleground races to win control of the Senate. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
Close to 40 million Americans have already cast their ballots in early voting, both by mail and in person. And don't forget to visit our election page on channel3000.com. There you'll find everything you need to know about Tuesday's midterm election. Then on election day, you can find the latest up-to-the-minute results for all the biggest races in your area. You can find it at the top of channel3000.com, and we will begin election day coverage on News 3 Now this morning from 4:30 until 7. To more local news now, police in Stevens Point are searching for a missing woman who they think may be in Illinois. This is Cassidy Bamowski. She hasn't been seen since before 3 p.m. Friday afternoon. Police say she is not able to care for herself and that she had called her mother saying she and her boyfriend were going to Illinois. Bumowski does not have a boyfriend, so police are concerned for her whereabouts. She is 5 feet 4 inches tall with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on her whereabouts is asked to call Stevens Point Police at 715-346-1501. If you've been sticking with News 3 Now all weekend, you watched the twisted and disturbing story that happened right here in southern Wisconsin. Bart and Krista Halderson's disappearance and murders were the focus during last night's 48 Hours episode. Telling that story means hearing from family, detectives, and a familiar face here at News 3 Now. Adam Duxter spent 3 years working here, and in July of 2021, he went to the Halderson family's door, days after Bart and Krista were reported missing. Duxter emphasized that even though he was the one making an appearance on the show, the work of everyone involved, including investigators, should be noted while watching the episode.
So this is not about me. This is about our team and what we did at Channel 3. It's about the team of investigators and what they did for the Dane County Sheriff's Office. And it's really about, at the end of the day, it's about the Halderson family. I mean, there's still people grieving.
The 48 Hours episode titled The Snapchat Clue will now be on Paramount Plus to stream and will be available online at channel3000.com. Wisconsin's gun deer season officially begins in just 2 weeks. Ahead of opening weekend, the Dane County Sheriff's Office is helping prepare hunters so they can bag the best buck.
With roughly 250,000 gun deer hunters in the state, it's no secret that deer hunting is a time-honored tradition in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin consistently ranks as one of the top deer hunting destinations in the country. And you don't have to believe us. You can believe the National Deer Association, who reports that out.
And for Wisconsin hunters, the best time of the year is just a few weeks away. On Saturday, the Dane County Sheriff's Office kicked off its annual series of sight and events, where hunters can prepare for the opening weekend of Wisconsin's gun deer season by having their firearm properly sighted and adjusted. Officials say by hosting the event, hunters are able to feel confident in their shooting while staying safe.
Our goal is to make sure that when people go out in the woods that they have a gun that's sighted in and ready so that when they take a shot at a deer, it's as accurate as they can possibly make it. It's basically for hunters' safety, so we know that they're going to hit the target that they're trying to.
Wisconsin's gun deer season officially begins on November 19th.
And if you missed out on the event, there's still plenty of opportunities to get your firearm sighted and adjusted ahead of opening weekend. You'll need to visit the Dane County Law Enforcement Training Center, which is located at 5184 State Highway 19. No appointment is necessary. It'll be open today between 8:30 a.m. and 3:30. And shooters will need to be off the range by 4 p.m. If you can't go this weekend, you can also visit during the same hours from November 11th to November 18th. Only firearms legal for hunting deer in Wisconsin will be permitted, with a cost of $10 for the first gun and $5 for each additional gun. Coming up next, helping those who serve with the local events.
When a clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. Yeah! And that's why they all start dancing. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Think crime is bad now? Mandela Barnes would make it worse. Barnes would eliminate cash bail even after the Waukesha Christmas parade attack, supports amnesty and sanctuary cities for illegals, and had worked for a radical group that wants to defund the police. Barnes has a long record of smearing police while spending your tax dollars on security for himself. Mandela Barnes, wrong on crime, dangerous for Wisconsin. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. Call today for free information.
Call 800-550-5543.
When the hands that do the fixing need fixing, when the hands that do the caring need caring, that's a job for O'Keeffe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream and guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keeffe's for healthy feet.
If you overdraw your account, Wells Fargo gives you an extra day grace period to avoid the overdraft fee. What if everything came with a grace period? Like accidentally parking where you shouldn't.
Hey, what about this one? Nah, that one gets an extra day. Somebody got lucky.
Like having an extra day grace period? When it comes to overdrafts, you can with Wells Fargo.
When a clean, shiny truck pulls up in front of your house, everyone starts clapping because everyone is happy. Yeah! And that's why they all start dancing. We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point.
Yeah, overall, we're going to have a much calmer day, although we do still have a front coming through right now. It's going to be cloud cover and some showers to the north. Really, the wind's going to be a little bit stronger up to the north and northern Minnesota. That's why they have a wind advisory out there. But overall, just cloud cover. Still mild temperatures overall. So you see the winds are going to be stronger to the south, 15 to 20 right now. Southern Wisconsin should see decreasing winds this afternoon. More western Wisconsin up into La Crosse area, probably increasing winds with that front that is coming through. As you can see right from there, right now the winds are fairly calm. And the precipitation should be well to the north, so we're not going to see much with that. And then overall temperatures today, very mild still, mid-50s for many locations, even upper 50s. Well above average. There's your strong winds well to the west and north of La Crosse. That's where that front is coming through. That's something that'll keep an eye up in that area. Otherwise, we'll see decreasing winds here. And then overall temperatures as we go through planning today, mid-50s, La Crosse, sunshine, cloud cover a little bit. Same story for here. We'll decrease the cloud cover this afternoon in Madison area once you get up in the mid-50s and then cool off tonight to the low 30s. And like I said, once again, we have good election day forecasts and even warmer Wednesday before then we kind of drop off the temperatures by the end of next week.
All right, Greg, thank you very much. Community members in La Crosse helped honor those who served our country at the 6th Annual Veterans Benefit Bonanza on Saturday. Veterans and their families attended the event, which gave them a chance to learn more about available resources in the community, including assistance with health care, education, employment, and much more. Organizers say they feel grateful to offer these resources to our veterans.
A really great thing to look out on the floor and see not only all the vendors that we have here taking a Saturday out to serve these veterans, but that the veterans are here to look into these benefits.
This year's turnout was the largest in the event's history. At the 7th annual iFeed event, 7 different schools from Wisconsin came together to help end hunger. Students got to dress up and collect money and donations for the Hunger Task Force. Non-perishable food items and financial donations were collected and items will be distributed to food banks throughout the area. One student said she had plenty of fun and learned about herself too.
I learned how to be a leader, be a better communicator. I've learned how to, interact with other people I don't talk to on a daily basis and get to know everybody.
Students also put together meals to be sent to Poland for Ukrainian refugees. If you would like to help out the Hunger Task Force, they're always accepting donations. You can check them out on their official website. And women from the farming community came together this weekend for conversation and collaboration. The Mastermind Dinner for Modern Farm Chicks brings female farmers from the region a chance to chat and encourage one another. Modern Day Farm Chicks started out as a blog which connected female farmers through social media. According to founder Annalise Wegner, she wants the public to realize just how important female farmers are to society.
A lot of people don't realize what a big role women in agriculture play, whether we are farmers or we're taking care of the kids or running for parks. We have so many different jobs and so many different titles to keep the farm running.
More than 100 female farmers were invited to attend the event. Well, still ahead this morning, the Badgers fight through those nasty conditions yesterday. And you're taking a live look over the Capitol this morning. Greg is back with the forecast after this.
This portion of News 3 Now is sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Warrens, Wisconsin.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor. Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
That really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
For Clinton Anderson, our community is his top priority. He's delivered for middle-class families on the Beloit City Council, and he'll keep fighting to lower costs for us in the Assembly. Jeff Klett's priorities are all wrong. He supports dismantling our public schools, wants to slash community services to give tax breaks to his billionaire backers, and he'll vote with extreme Republicans to enforce Wisconsin's abortion ban, which could send doctors to prison. We can't afford Jeff Klett.
Do you have an idea for an invention, but you don't know what to do next? Call InventHelp. They've been helping inventors for 35 years. InventHelp has helped over 10,000 inventors get patents. You can meet with an InventHelp representative who'll keep your idea confidential and explain their invention process step by step. And InventHelp's databank includes over 9,000 companies who have agreed to review new ideas. Take action and get the help you need from InventHelp.
800-550-5543.
Attention Medicare beneficiaries. If you have or are eligible for Medicaid, please listen closely. You may be eligible for a Medicare Advantage plan from WellCare with a zero or low plan premium. Call now. We can answer your questions and help you enroll over the phone. WellCare provides access to essential benefits that go beyond original Medicare, such as dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage with free home delivery, free over-the-counter healthcare items, free groceries with a healthy food card, free gym membership, and home-delivered meals. Plus, extra benefits like more access to care with free transportation and WellCare's telehealth services, including online doctor visits. WellCare is contracted with Medicare to provide plans that may be perfect for you. Call 1-844-682-9370. Now, that's 1-844-682-9370. WellCare, Medicare done well.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Yeah, we're going to have a fairly quiet, more quiet Sunday than we had a Saturday, obviously, because the system that we mentioned here, this goes through from Friday through yesterday. Actually, this morning, you can see the system that provided all the rain. You can see it push up here. It provided the severe weather in Texas, too. And then there it comes up yesterday, and now it's lifted to the north. We have another system that's kind of in this west flow that's coming across. Fairly dry front, but it's just providing some cloud cover and wind. And that's kind of the flow that we're going to keep going on through this week until we start turning it a little bit more southwesterly as we get to the mid part of the week. Right now, like I said, there's your westerly flow right now. Cold air is really locked to the north yet. Warm air to the south. That's going to change. Oops, let's go back there. We clicked the button too quick. Here we go. Now we go to Wednesday. You can start seeing the warm temperatures begin to pull north with the southwest winds as another system is really beginning to dig south into the mountain west. That's the one that's going to eventually bring us our next chance of rain midweek, and then definitely bring the colder air really sweeps through by the time we get to Veterans Day into next week. So enjoy the mild conditions, because this time next week will be probably highs in the 30s. For the time being, we got clear skies. Now a few clouds passing through. Winds today be breezy, but overall still mild conditions. That'll change a little bit tomorrow. A little bit of a cool down with the northwest winds, but overall still about average temperatures this time of year. The winds won't really turn around until we get to Tuesday. and that's when a warm front kind of scoots through and goes to the north, and that's when we'll start warming back up through Wednesday. You can start seeing it come up right there by Tuesday morning. That's what we're going to be seeing by the time we get to Tuesday. Overall today, mid to upper 50s. A cloud cover passes through. Should be more clear skies this afternoon for all areas. And once again, tonight we'll clear out. We'll go back to where we should be, upper 20s to low 30s as you wake up tomorrow morning. So once again, fairly normal temperatures for this time that you see it. Northwest winds tomorrow, a few degrees colder, more upper 40s, low 50s just because of the wind flow. But still, that is close to average for this time of year, so nothing to speak of. The winds really with this front will be strongest to the north and northwest of La Crosse. That's where they have a wind advisory up there. We'll have breezy conditions down here, nothing like yesterday. Those all should subside as we go through the evening and overnight hours. As you can see, temperatures, Election day looks good. Cloud cover, maybe a shower late that night coming through, kind of a warm front pushes north. Other than that, we're going to get up to the mid to upper 60s. Who knows, maybe a 70 might be out there somewhere. But then the front comes through Thursday night to Friday, and then we drastically drop those temperatures back to even below average for this time of year. Same story for La Crosse, too. Thunderstorms, probably a good bet Thursday showers. We could mix in a little bit of snow there Friday, too, with some wraparound. Won't be an accumulation issue right now. But do note the temperatures. They're coming.
Oh, I'm noting them. All right, Greg. Thank you very much. Yep. Well, it's easy to say that the bye week did wonders for the Badgers. Being able to rest up, heal, relax, they returned to Big Ten play, refocused, and came out dominating a 6-2 team, making it their first back-to-back wins of the season, and it started on offense. Braylon Allen, the first Badger to find the end zone. And shortly after his trip, Isaac Warrendo takes it 89 yards to the house. A career day for the young back, 114 yards on 12 carries. We got to talk about the Wisconsin defense, too, though. They held the Terps to under 200 total yards. They didn't find the end zone until the final minute of the game. And Nick Herbig had himself a day, 4 tackles, 3 for loss, 2 of them sacks. So back from the bye, Wisconsin wins 23-10, improving to 5-4 on the season. With a .500 conference record, the Badgers starting to look like them old selves again. And as Zach Hanley tells us, the wet weather favored their ground attack.
Wet, windy, but a Wisconsin win, thanks to good defense and a two-headed rushing attack that ran for 233 yards and 2 scores in a game they knew they'd be called upon.
Just looking at the weather, we were just preparing for it, so we knew it was going to be a run-the-ball type of day. So, appreciate the O-line for sure, blocking their butts off today, all day.
Fun to watch the aggression those guys played with up front. The backs just pounding it in there. Not always going to be pretty, right? You're going to run into some heavy boxes, but just everyone just grinding it out.
We knew it was going to be a kind of by any means necessary type of game. And, those guys dominated up front. They got the job done, and we were able to try to make some plays in the pass game when we could. Obviously, it was a little bit of an ugly game.
They're ballers today, man. They love weather like that. They had fun today. Run game-wise, we were so physical. We kind of were dominating the line of scrimmage, so there was no real reason to be like, we got to drop back and air this thing out. You know what I mean? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
The weather conditions were perfect for an offensive lineman, not really for a quarterback. Didn't seem to bother Graham Mertz, though, as he described it. It's always sunny and 75. At Camp Randall Stadium, Zach Hanley, News 3 Sports.
Well, the Badgers have 3 regular season games left on the schedule. Next week, they travel to Iowa City to take on the Hawkeyes at 2:30 p.m. And hey, make News 3 part of your weekly routine by downloading the Channel 3000 app for the latest headlines and weather conditions 24/7. And when we get back, a timely reminder for all of us ahead of Tuesday. We'll tell you that story coming up.
Did you know Tim Michaels pledged to rig future elections?
Republicans will never lose another election in Wisconsin after I'm elected governor.
He'll try to overthrow the will of the people. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Hi, this is Lisa from 4Imprint. Yes, I like 50 welcome wows, 300 customer I love it, and 200 team member. Oh yes, certainly. We got some brand new woohoos.
Dial up the wow factor with promotional products from 4Imprint. We specialize in awesome items that are certain to awe and guaranteed to deliver some ooh yes. From apparel, backpacks, drinkware to high-tech items.
Wow.
I love it. Woohoo!
Go to 4imprint.com and find some wow now. 4imprint, for certain.
There's a reason big dental bills often come as a shock, because sometimes you don't realize what's not covered until you get the bill. That's why affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual is important. It can give you benefits that go beyond what you get from more limited coverage plans. Because no one likes a big dental bill, especially if you're retired or on a fixed income. For a free information kit, call or go online now. This isn't some discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance that helps cover over 350 procedures, like cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures, at any dentist you want. Dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company helps cover preventive care, basic work, and major procedures, with no deductibles and no annual maximum. For your free information kit with all the details, call now or visit sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. Call right now to find out if you qualify.
Call 1-800-336-0524. 1-800-336-0524.
Did you know Tim Michaels wants to criminalize abortion, even for pregnant rape victims?
But you wouldn't support exceptions for rape or incest?
That's correct.
Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as your governor?
Before you cast your vote on Tuesday, log on to channel3000.com for comprehensive information on voting, candidate reality checks, and what's on the ballot. Get the facts and information you need before you head to the polls. News 3 Now, your election headquarters.
We wanted to create an inclusive environment,
bringing together families and kids with special needs at a special place where they can play and be themselves. Charlotte DeLeste takes you inside Madison's new Keep Calm Sensory Zone, Monday at 10.
Finally this morning, lessons on living a long life and why voting is so important from a voter who knows a lot about both, because she's more than a century old. Erin Parsegian has the story.
I'm 106, I'll be 107.
So what's the secret? Is it voting?
Well, I think good living, and as I tease these people here, I have my glass of scotch every night before I go to bed.
Margaret Peggy Glode was born in England. She moved to the United States as a young girl in the mid-1920s, just a few years after the 19th Amendment was ratified, granting women the right to vote.
Our forefathers fought to get the vote for us, and now some people are just disregarding it, and I think it's a shame.
And that's why Peggy has made it a point to vote in every general election since she turned 21. That's back when President Franklin Delano Roosevelt lived in the White House.
The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. I think it's essential that everybody, it's our duty to get out and vote and make our vote count.
But there are still issues that drive her to vote.
Down on our southern border, I think probably is the most serious.
Proving politics isn't always as plain as left or right.
I don't think I ever have, even in this one, voted a straight ticket. But the idea is if you don't vote, then you can't complain about anything.
Erin Parsegian for CBS News, Pinellas County, Florida.
That's a great story. 106 years old. She's been voting for 80-something years, close to 80 years. I mean, a great reminder as we near Tuesday. Get out and vote if you can. Greg, before we go, though, what's the weather looking like?
And really for today, we're looking at good weather here. Breezy today. Winds will start picking up Wednesday, Thursday because we have another front coming. But the good news is that's going to drive the temperatures up to the 60s by the time we get to Wednesday. Rain chances start really cramping up as we get to Wednesday and Thursday. And then we drop off by Veterans Day. We're going to have the 30s come back and a vengeance here. We haven't seen those. But other than that, like I said, Election Day forecast looks good. And even the Lauder Day forecast, we know Monday looks good.
All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here next weekend.